So what you're seeing taking shape is a brand new dream home for husband and wife, Kathy and Les. And making their dream home a reality are Ulster Construction Limited, a design and construction company based in Warwickshire.
We wanted to downsize to a smaller house, and my husband is into motorsport and he wants a bigger garage, and it's very difficult to find a small house with a big garage.
They chose Ulster Construction because they are a local builder and they have the full package of design and build.
When we first met with the client, we took them to go and see a project that we were actually working on at the time. It was a project in the Cotswolds of 4 houses, and they were all slightly at different stages, so they could actually see how we approach our build side. And what it did from a clarification point of view for the client was for them to see that we take the project from the ground all the way through, and they could see right the way through to us choosing the bathroom fittings and how we create the actual finished product.
We went and looked at one of the sites and was very impressed with the work that we saw there and could guarantee the quality of the work.
With Kathy, just like with every other client that we have, we organize a meeting, so we establish a clear brief of what the intentions are for the project, and we work from there to get it perfect in the end.
I get a 2-weekly update on what's been achieved on site, and we'll often meet with the site manager here.
As attaining planning permission was so delayed because of COVID, they had to start digging the foundations in the winter, which was not ideal. So they were met with a number of unforeseeable delays. Thankfully, the team had strived to save time in other areas and keep everything on schedule. As with any new build, location can provide all sorts of challenges, from planning application through to access for construction workers. As you can see, the house is being built on a beautiful piece of land. That in itself brought a number of planning application issues that they had to work through.
Planning is always very difficult, and every site has issues, and we have to unpack those with the planner. On this particular site, we knew what we wanted for the client, but we also knew where the planner was coming from. So we were able to slightly amend the drawings without dissolving the actual design that the client wanted, but give the planner exactly what they needed to get us through planning.
It was important to have regular meetings with both the client and the planners, so everyone knew exactly what the issues were, and then it was also able to suggest solutions that might overcome those planning issues.
One such issue arose about the finish on this house. This is reconstituted stone, and asked that Ulster Construction find an alternative natural stone that was currently and locally sourced, such as blue lias. Investigating this for viability, they found out that blue lias is actually sourced from Somerset and therefore not the local stone that they had stipulated. Ulster Construction put this forward and were able to get Kathy's beloved reconstituted stone back on the plans.
One of the conditions the planners made was that the house had to be built in the local natural stone, either blue lias or white lias. White lias is no longer quarried in Warwickshire and is only quarried in Somerset.
We put an alternative together, which was the Beck stone, which went to the planners, and they were very happy with that, and meant that it was a more cost-effective alternative.
One of the other issues that we had was with the garage, which was very important to the client. We had an issue with height, and we were able to manipulate the space so we could get the ridge height down to satisfy the planner, but giving the client exactly what they wanted. As with all of our clients, what we asked was for imagery and ideas so we can understand what they were looking for. The more the clients give us in pictures allows us to get inside the head of what they want to do. What we were able to do with Kathy was to take those images, move them into the architectural form, and then as we worked through the project, every single detail was taken back to those images that she gave us, so we made sure we got the detailing right.
We generate 3D images, and it's a process of working with the client to shape the project into what they want in the end.
I wanted to have the design that I'd spent many years drawing up, and between us we've come up with what you see today.
So once the roof had been added and the scaffolding had come down and the building made watertight, this will be the first time that Kathy and Les can see the house in a semi-finished state.
The main milestone is when the scaffolding comes down and they get their building revealed.
Another great milestone was when the windows were fitted. It just starts bringing the whole house together.
Making Kathy's dream home a reality has been the team's motivation from the start. Every step of the way, they have worked with Kathy's request to make sure that she's getting exactly what she wants. Often advising on alternatives that meet the brief but also stay within budget.
When they first came to us with the design they wanted, they had a lot of ideas. Some of these stretched their budget a little bit, so what I did was offer them alternatives. It still gave them what they wanted at the end, but just helped with their budget.
Everything from the garden to the garage, from the soap holders to the wardrobes, have been discussed with Kathy and the team. It was clear that Kathy fully respected their professional opinion when it came to suggesting alternatives that were either not suitable or out of budget. One such case was to do with Kathy's request for a staircase without a newel post.
The issue with the staircase itself was the client didn't want the newel post, the big piece of timber at the bottom basically, and it was finding an artistic way of dealing with that would satisfy the building regs but also give the client the flow that they wanted on the staircase.
The client wanted quite open spaces, so we've got underfloor heating on the ground floor and on the first floor.
As the interior of the building had started to come together, the design and the finishing touches were undertaken by the in-house team. From carpenters to bathroom fitters, from floorers to electricians, every single element of the internal fixtures and fittings have been chosen to Kathy's specific requests. Ulster Construction's plans for the house was not only to meet, but to exceed the requirements for energy efficiency. They'd thought about everything from low wattage extractor fans all the way through to low energy lighting.
The energy efficiency is a big topic at the moment for everybody, so we maximise the daylight. We look at how the thermal properties of the materials we're using interact with the space, and then we will take the client through all the different technologies that we can apply. And then as we come to the finishes, we'll always specify low energy light bulbs, making sure we've got the right insulation for the property. That gives us the best U value that we can get.
This house is just one of Ulster Construction's many projects that involve working through an entire construction process from start to finish. At every stage of every build, the Ulster Construction's team work with their valued customers in mind to exceed expectations and to create beautiful dream homes just like this one. Now that every wall has been painted and every carpet has been laid, this house is complete. All that is left to do is for Kathy and Les to settle into their new life in their dream home.